with the upcoming license system, how are you thinking about handling assets sold outside of Resonite that people already own licenses to? For example, boot models, or in case of assets where someone claims ownership of, say, CC0 asset. So, if the asset is already sold...
Oh, looks like your mic died.
Hello? Test 1, 2, can you hear me?
Whoa.
Yeah, my microphone shut down for some reason. It likes to do that sometimes, unfortunately. Can you hear me fine now?
Yes.
Let me double check. Yeah, it should be going okay. Sorry for that. It's actually not Steam Audio. I'm using Mod Mic that's kind of plugged directly. It just shut down. Anyway, so I'm just gonna like reread the question. BD's asking, with the upcoming license system, how are you thinking about handling assets sold outside of Resonite that people already own licenses to, for example, boot models, or in the case of assets where someone claims ownership of, say, CC0 asset? So there's like a few things in that question, but like one of the things, you know, that the system will be able to do is you'll be able to say, you know, this asset is licensed this way. And if somebody abuses that and says, you know, it's licensed this way, you can, like, we want to have a system where you can provide, like, you can dispute it, and you can also provide evidence saying this is the source of the asset, and here's the license for it. So that way we can go and we can check. So, for example, somebody says, like, you know, I'm selling this asset that's, you know, that it's like technically CC0, and like I'm claiming it as my own, that I have created it, and start again. I'm claiming it as my own, that I've created this asset, you know, and somebody puts that into the system, and then somebody comes like, but this, I got this asset from this website, it's like CC0. So you dispute it, and you send us a link, you know, like, for example, here's the asset, and like, here's the original source of it. And we can look at it and be like, okay, this is credible source, this asset is actually CC0, this person has misrepresented the asset, so we're gonna, you know, change it. We're gonna solve the dispute by saying, you know, no, this is CC0, anyone can use it, and probably some bad things will happen to, you know, to somebody who abused the system. That way, like, you know, we kind of discourage people from doing that. And in general, like when you do bring an asset and you say it has this license, we'll probably ask you provide, you know, something like some link or some website or something that, like, you know, is a good evidence of the licensing of the asset. That way, like, you know, everything's kind of trackable, and we can, you know, and if there's any dispute, we can kind of figure things out. And the same thing, you know, like if the asset is already sold outside and the creator hasn't registered that asset with Resonite, you'll be able to say, you know, I got this asset from this thing. I don't. You'll essentially say, I don't own the asset. I haven't. Like, well, I'm saying it wrong. You'll say, I haven't made the asset. I own a license to it, and I got a license, you know, from here. And the system, we want to make it in a way where, like, you know, it's gonna be able to accept that. So it's like, you know, we don't want it to be like too harsh, where it's like, you know, kind of harsh to put things in, but you'll be able to say, you know, I got it from here. And then maybe the creator, you know, they can be like, I want the person who actually made the asset and who decides how it's licensed, they might come in and they'll be like, I'm the author of this asset, it needs to be licensed this way, and I want people to prove ownership, like, you know, this way. Maybe like they have a code for Gumroad. Maybe I just want them to like be, you know, upload the file, and we do a hash. We'll be like, okay, you have the file, so we assume you own the license to it. Like, we want to provide like multiple ways and make it kind of easy enough for people to bring the stuff in. And if there's like, you know, any misuse, like we want to have a dispute system, so you can say, you know, no, this is actually marked incorrectly. You know, somebody's claiming asset that, like, you know, they haven't made, and then we can kind of deal with that. I hope that kind of answers that one.